Greetings, how's it going? Logan Boyko here to talk about social media's role in journalism in this day and age. First off, journalism. How do we define journalism? Well, Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines journalism as the activity or job of collecting, writing, and editing news for stories, newspapers, magazines, television, or radio. But is it really that easy to accomplish defining news in this day and age when we have a technology environment that's ever-changing? It seems difficult to nail down a concrete definition of what journalism is and what it has evolved into over the years. This is due in part to the constantly evolving environment of technology and what can be accomplished through the internet and advancements in the tools that we use to produce and disseminate media. I believe that the most important technology and platform responsible for revolutionizing the state of journalism as we know it is in fact social media. So I'd like to start with some statistics regarding social media and journalism and what it looks like in this day and age. First off, a 2013 survey conducted by the Pew Center for Research breaks down the different social media networks that have become a gateway for news and journalistic content alike. As you can see, 64% of adults currently have and use a Facebook account on a daily basis. 30% of these adults get their news solely from Facebook, meaning they read stories online, they share stories online, and that's where they collect most of their headlines. Moving on, 51% of adults have a YouTube account. 51% of adults in the United States have a YouTube account and use it on a daily basis. And 10% of these adults get their news solely from YouTube, meaning watching videos about news, watching news stories via YouTube. 16% of adults in the US currently have a Twitter account. They use and access a Twitter account on a daily basis. 8% of those said adults get their news solely from Twitter, meaning about half of these people get their news solely from Twitter and their Twitter accounts through their newsfeed. But how do social media users participate in news? In a research conducted by ING, it states 50% of users share and repost news. Now that's through all different media sites, either Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So as you can see, 50% of adults in the United States share and repost news on a daily basis. 46% of adults have discussed news, either by personally discussing a news event on the web, weighing in on a topic, and providing their own thoughts and opinions. 14% of people admitted to have posted photos that they personally took at a news event, whether a car accident, a home fire, a developing event. These citizen journalists have gone out and shot their own photos and video. 14% having posted videos, 14% having posted photos, and 12% having posted videos. What do journalists themselves have to say about the role of social media in the news landscape? 1/3 of professional journalists say that social media posts are not a reliable source of information, and half of journalists reported social media as being their primary source of information. So as we can see, the scales kind of tip right there, maybe half even split on both sides. Journalists utilize social media to find out what people are talking about, what's trending, what's the latest happenings on a news feed, just more or less what people are talking about, what people are more interested in, and then they themselves can go and develop stories of their own, write stories of their own, create content of their own. Fact-checking has become less thorough, and what I mean by this is, this has reiterated the old scenario of timeliness versus accuracy. Half of the journalists interviewed in this particular survey reported having published most of their stories as quickly as possible and would correct later if necessary. So, what social media has undoubtedly done is raise the demand for news to be more timely. Sites like Facebook are accessed by the public at all hours of the day, and those who rely on these sites for their news and their media content, they crave this information as a story develops. Now, there are several guidelines developed by NPR that should be adhered to when posting on the internet. Now, these rules don't necessarily are enforced on the internet. No one's out there enforcing these and saying that these must be adhered to. But these are some recommendations on how to conduct personal behavior on the internet when posting news stories. So, the first guideline that should be adhered to is accuracy. Don't just spread information for the sake of spreading information. Be careful and thoughtful when posting online before passing information on to others. Be sure to fact check yourself. Be sure to specify what has and has not been confirmed. Second rule, or guideline to follow, honesty. Be honest about who is posting. If you are a journalist, identify yourself as so. A citizen, identify yourself so that other people online are aware of who they are receiving information from. Just be majorly transparent in your own actions. Impartiality. Refrain from advocating for political or other polarizing issues whilst online. This can lead readers to believe that you have an agenda to accomplish. Accountability. Anything written or received online via social network is accessible to the public. Just remember when disseminating information that it will forever be out there for the public to access and utilize. The line between what is public and what is private has become blurred over the years. Information that is intended to be shared with a particular target audience can easily be circulated beyond these target audiences. And last but not least, respect. Be respectful towards others who are likewise part of the online community. Different communities exist online, much like in person, and these communities have their own culture, etiquettes, and norms. As a responsible citizen or journalist, it is important to respect these established communities. Now, as I said, these are only recommendations of guidelines to adhere to while online. But if you're going to conduct your own research and analysis and develop stories of your own, whether citizen or professional journalist, it is important to remember that this information is being consumed at a very rapid pace. As these stories develop, information is released that isn't always correct. We must fact check, source, and social media has done a major revolutionizing of the news media landscape that we've seen. And I think it will only continue to grow as new social media platforms arise.